Hey gang, this is a video about making CBM charts for educational evaluation reports. In the video, we'll go over how to make visual charts to display CBM data in your educational evaluation reports. We're going to use Microsoft Excel, the 2010 version, and Google Spreadsheets. So let's get started. Let's get over here to Microsoft Excel. Let's take a look at really the simplicity of making a column chart, not a bar chart. Bar charts in Microsoft Excel, they actually are horizontal bars. Column charts are vertical bars. So take a look at the screen here. Essentially, this is all you need to write. Hannah's reading CBM data. We're going to use Hannah here. If I'm not mistaken, her most recent test, week 8, was 84, so I would type that in, 84. And I would reference the Ames web norm to find out the 50th percentile for second grade. So here I am in second grade. 50th percentile for the spring would be 94. Okay, so we want to just use that, 94. She's at 94. I'm sorry, the 50th percentile reading CBM data for the spring is 94. I want to show you some alternative titles for the graph. Okay, basically, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we create the graph first? So to create the graph or the column chart, we will go to Insert. We'll select all of these cells just by doing this. And then we'll go into a column and simply click on 2D column and see what comes up. It looks pretty nice. I would delete this. We don't need to have this, so you can just kind of right click, delete. We have a very nice looking chart. Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to format these grid lines, if you want to use them. If you don't want to use them, you can just say no line. If you want to use them, just keep it as it was, the solid line. I'm going to go into no line. Close that out. And there we have it. It's very, very simple. There's a few things that we want to think about. One of those things being, are these the titles that we want to use? Feel free to use whatever title you want. Here's an example of some alternative titles. We'll type in 84 for Hannah's score and 94 for the average words read correctly per minute. Alright, we'll do that same thing. Insert the column chart, 2D column chart. Delete this because it doesn't need to be there. We'll format the grid lines. If you want to if you want to keep the grid lines in because you believe that they are helpful, then feel free. So there we have it. We might want to normalize this axis. If you want to do that, if you want to change the axis, you can do that. You can simply go to Format Axis and then change the values. But I wouldn't. There's really no need to do that. Okay, now how would we go about putting in a confidence interval? Remember, we had these confidence interval charts. So let me go back to, let me see how I can, let's go back to sheet 1. Take a look at the confidence intervals for oral reading fluency. Second grade, the 95% confidence interval is 24.17. 24.17, which I'll just call 24. Okay, so let's keep that number in mind. Go back here to any one of these charts. Up here in Chart Tools, you'll see Format, Layout, and Design. We want to go to Layout and click on Error Bars. All the way down, more error bar options. We want to enter 24. I think that was what we had. Let's go back here and just verify. Yep, 24. Let's go back to our sheet. Oh, this automatically defaulted, so let's go back to Layout, Error Bars, more error bar options, and type in 24. And close that out, and this is what you'll see. So because how you would now interpret this would be that Hannah's true score really lives anywhere in within this error bar. And because there's an overlap with the 50th percentile, you could be 95% confident that her scores are about the same as the average scores. Okay, so just because she's 10 points lower with regard to measurement error and with regard to all of the important things we know about curriculum-based measurement data and measuring student performance in general, her score is on par with average performance. All right, so that's Microsoft Excel. Again, let's just walk through that one more time. We can click on, if we click on the entire chart, we get to go to Layout, Error Bars, More Error Bar Options. We want a fixed value, 24, close, and there we have it. All right, so now let's take a look and see how to do this through Google Docs. Let's go to Create. I'm actually in Google Drive, but we can go to Create, a Spreadsheet. You can get direct access to Google Spreadsheet. Google Spreadsheet looks a lot like Microsoft Excel. So one of the things that we could do is just sort of copy and paste. Let's just do that. Copy and paste. And if we double click on this right here, it'll automatically adjust to the width of the column. Now it's pretty much the exact same sort of format. You want to grab all four, you want to select all four. You're going to go to Insert, all the way down here to Chart. And then we want to select the kind of chart that we want. Right here we can click on the column chart, or you could go over here to the Charts tab and click on the column chart. Now this is a pretty neat little representation over here. You get a chance to customize it. You can call this chart Hannah's Spring CBM Results, or Spring RCBM Results, because we're talking about reading CBM. Remember, we can do this exact same procedure for the math CBM. We just don't have to use confidence intervals because we don't have them. All right, so I think, there we go, Hannah Spring RCBM Results. Under horizontal axis title, we want to type in words read correctly per minute. Be as clear as possible. Always try to be as clear as possible. So hopefully that'll come up. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the vertical axis. So don't know why it's not coming up over here. Oh, because I have to type it in again. Words read correctly per minute, and then when I hit enter it comes up over here. I want to get rid of the the horizontal axis title, because that's incorrect, and just leave that blank. We can leave that blank because there's a legend over here that describes the different colors. Now, because you're not going to use, you may want to use, when you're out in practice, a colorful report like this. It would be engaging, and I would recommend that. But to save some money right now, all we need to do, let's do a dark color here, and let's do something like perhaps a gray or a light gray. Oops. Let's go back. Now the average, we'll make that a gray. Okay. And then the legends will change. Okay, so that's how to just sort of make that black and white. Now the cool part here is the error bars have a neat pull down menu. We just click constant, and then remember the value was 24. So if we hit return, now we can do that for both axes, Hannah's, back to constant, and 24. Okay. We notice that this black coloring does not allow us to see the bottom, so we might want to do something like that, and maybe a lighter gray for the other one. Okay. However you want to make this, I could sit here for 20 minutes trying to figure out the exact right color. So it's really up to you. I think you get the idea here. So that was a video on making CBM charts for educational evaluation reports. Let me click on Insert, and there you go. Now it's easy to just sort of copy over this chart. This gives you an opportunity to save the chart as an image, copy the chart right into your report, or publish the chart. So it's very easy to get these reports out of, these charts out of Microsoft Excel and out of Google Spreadsheets. Okay, great. Well, that's a video on making CBM charts for educational evaluation reports. Good luck.